time to get up close and personal with you. I'm going to have you take a survey called the Bullseye 5. The Bullseye 5 is a survey that you're going to take in which you will identify the top 5 most important people in your life. You'll list their names in these spaces, and then on a scale of 1 to 100, you're going to guess how they would rate you as a listener. And you'll put those scores right next to their name in the column expected score. Then what you're going to do is go to them and ask them, hey, on a scale of 1 to 100, how would you rate me as a listener and why? And then record their scores. Notice at the bottom it says, how did your actual scores differ from your expected scores? What specific reasons did they give you? And for your low scores, what is the cost? I'll share my Bullseye 5 with you as it stands today. Who are the 5 most important people in my life that I should be listening to? Certainly my wife Quinn, my son Mark, and my grandchildren. Em, my oldest granddaughter, and our twin grandchildren, Mark Jr. and Casey. How would they score me, in my opinion? I think Quinn's going to score me a 65. You may say, what? That's a D. You're the listening guy. How come she doesn't score you higher than that? I've realized that this is a daily process and, well, quite frankly, I make mistakes. But I recover my mistakes and I move on. So I've got a lot of room still to do with Quinn. Mark would score me a 90. Em, a 95. Our twin grandchildren live 1,500 miles away. We don't speak together as frequently as what I would like, so I'm thinking they would probably score me a 70. Welcome back. How did you do? This can be a very humbling exercise. I know it was for me. But it's important to be able to identify the top 5 in our life. Certainly if we're going to make headway in terms of improving and strengthening our listening as we move forward through this course. And I'll refer to the Bullseye 5 frequently. Did you ask them how they believed you were as a listener? Look at the comparison of the scores. So important. I'll give you an example of a company that I was working with. We did a full one-day workshop on listening pays, and at the end, I always give space for people to be able to identify what was the most important thing they got out of the day. Well, the CEO of the company stood up and came to the front of the room. And of all the things that we covered in that one-day program, he said the Bullseye 5 made the most impact to him. He said, I have twin sons. They're 16 years old. And I believe that they would score me a 20. And then he got very emotional. And he said, that's going to change. And I believe him, because awareness is the first step to any development. And so I hope that you have a heightened awareness as we move down the path of the journey. We're now going to focus on build a solid foundation.